Oh God. And by the way, since I've heard talk that they're actually releasing a new set of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe toys, I think it's only fair that we check in with Skeletor. Senator Rick Scott says Donald Trump stood up to our enemies, and by our enemies, of course, he meant black voters in Georgia, I guess.
This. We want to talk to Florida Senator Rick
Amy?
Scott.
Yeah, she doesn't care about ranch living or farms passing on. It's ugh.
Senator, thank you so much.
First of all the books are fake. Secondly, I think those are the pictures that came with the frame. I swear to God, I feel like this is a face like. This is the kind of face you see when you're in a trunk and they open the lid.
Much for taking the time. We have just outlined some of the most glaring.
Believe me, he's got time.
Missteps of the Biden administration here over just the first couple of months. But I want to start.
The missteps of the Biden. Yeah, that huge where he tripped and almost fell into a $2 trillion infrastructure bill, and now it's going to be 2.25.
Start first with getting Republicans back in power. You've been working on taking back 2022.
The plan to win back Congress in 2022. What's integral to the plan besides stopping black people from voting? I know that's the essence of it, but from a platform point of view.
You've been working with former President.
You've obviously been doing your job, which of course, scaring children.
Trump as well. You're also the chair of the National Republican Senatorial Committee.
In case you don't know, the National Republican Senatorial Committee is a group that just gave Donald Trump a bowl, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on. NRSC gives Trump award. If I'm not mistaken. Images. Yeah, they created a new award for him. I wonder if Rand Paul designed it. He chose wrongly. I got a bowl. Fill it with Sudafed. And I'm pretty sure they're both cardboard cutouts. It's their contract. They're not allowed to appear together. Yeah, they gave him, this is the award. Creates new annual award, and the first person that gets it is Trump. Ugh, God, it's so terrible. This is the Senate Republicans create new annual award. Give it to Trump. On Saturday night, Donald Trump embarrassed Republican donors by delivering a rambling, grievance-laden speech. I'm still searching for video of that. If anybody can find it, mwah. The NRSC gave an award to Donald Trump over the weekend. Trump called Leader McConnell a dumb son of a bitch. Of course, we know. Below is a photo of him and Rick Scott getting the award. Okay, so that's this guy. Well deserved. Hi. Hello.
I know we're more than a year away at this point, but how are things looking as far as...
Yeah, tell us. I mean, it's got to be awesome. I mean, people are leaving the Republican Party in droves, and the highest numbers you guys have in terms of polling is how many people in your party are never going to get vaccinated.
2022 is concerned.
Well, you know who's helping us is Joe Biden. I mean, his agenda is not popular. I mean,
it isn't? No? His agenda isn't popular? Okay, Biden. Let's see. Infrastructure. Let's just go that one because we've already passed the polls. Let's see. Biden. Listen to this shit. This is who's putting where is this? On infrastructure. Oh, this is morning consults. That makes sense. This is the Biden's infrastructure plan maintains support from about 3 in 5 voters, but Republican backing takes a sharp dive. In a week, support from GOP voters for infrastructure falls 10 points to 25%. It fell 25%, and he still got 3 out of 5. You know how many he had before it took that steep dive? 3 out of 5. That should give you some indication of how few Republicans there are in terms of the population these days. Here you go. All voters. 32% strongly support, 25% somewhat support, 19% don't know. That's who they're going to be touring around. 6% somewhat oppose. Thanks for your input. And 18% of voters strongly oppose. So 18% of these voters strongly oppose. There is, and like a statistical amount, like this is the same with independents. And the overall voters, understand this, 18% of independents, you got to talk about sheer number versus percentage. 18% of voters in general strongly oppose it, 18% of independents strongly oppose it, right? We're close to the zone on this, and of course, the biggest swath of people who don't really know are independents, you Libra bastards. And look at the Republicans. 39% strongly oppose. If all voters piled together, Democrats, independents, and Republicans all piled together, and independents make up 18%, and Republicans make up 39% of their party, imagine how low a percentage overall of voters they are. And now you wonder, now you know why they run states like Wyoming and Montana and not states like California and New York. Because there aren't enough of them. 62% of voters back higher corporate taxes to pay for infrastructure plan. 6 out of 10. 3 out of 5. You know how this has changed in the last couple weeks? It's up 2%. It's up. Even with the increase in Republicans being against it. Did you see, like, it took a dive, but Republican backing takes a sharp dive. They went down 10 points in this. This is the part where if you're going to have it, look, I'm totally against it. But if you do it, I'm totally against that. Who cares? If you're against it, you're against all of it. I'm guessing you're going to be against the how if you're against the what. So, yeah. So here we go. So, only 17, and this is almost identical. Look at this. Look at the lineup here. The only thing that's fatter in any of these districts is in these segments, as it always is independents have the largest group of don't know, no opinion. These are true independents. These are Democrats who are, still mad about Bernie Sanders and don't want to call themselves that, so they're Bernie independents. And then these are Republicans who don't want to call themselves Democrats yet, but are embarrassed by their Trump and Bush votes, so they call themselves independents. And then these are actual independents who are like, I don't vote for either party. I don't quite know. I wait till the last minute to make up my mind. But look at this. 41% are against it. 41% of Republicans, and it still only makes up 17% of overall voters. 62% of voters back higher corporate taxes to pay for the infrastructure plan. 62%. You know how many Republicans in the Senate, in that elite group in Washington, are going to vote for this infrastructure plan? Even though you've got, in their case, 18 and 4, 18, 22, 32, 33, 43% of their voters support it. 43% of Republican voters support in some form or fashion, or okay with, or don't really care if they raise corporate taxes to pay for this thing. And you know how many Republicans in the Senate are going to vote for it, or in the House? You know that Washington doesn't tell you how to. We listen to the voters because we're sent there by the real American people. Well, half of the real Americans in their district like this shit. So if that's a 50-50 equation for the most part. So how many Republicans would be voting for this? Maybe 50-50? No, absolutely zero. None. And tell me again about elites in Washington. Jesus, God, like that. Woof.
I mean, Americans want a secure border. They want their schools open.
Yeah, they're working on that. They know that. They want to do it safely, but we're in the process. Schools are opening. They're doubled the number of people that are getting vaccinated. Better than Captain Shit the Bed last year.
Close. They don't want men playing in women's sports.
They don't want men playing in women's sports. Well, they're not. They're dealing with trans women. If men who are men and want to remain men dress up in a dress and try to play on the ladies' team, I believe they deserve an ass kicking. But if somebody's trans, that's different. And the fact that you don't care to or don't think there's a distinction speaks to your own ignorance and bigotry and awfulness.
They don't want to kill the Keystone Pipeline. They don't want to.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they don't really give a shit. The Keystone Pipeline's Canadian shale oil.
Get rid of fossil fuel. They don't want to bankrupt this country with this ridiculous spending that the Biden administration is doing. The pass bill.
I'm sorry. That was a good clarification. They do want to bankrupt the country with the ridiculous spending that Trump was doing then? I see.
It's going to take us to $30 trillion in debt. The next bill will take us, $32, $33, $34 trillion worth of debt?
Yeah, except it's going to make its money back. It's an investment base. The rest of this has been basically money, bad, good money after bad. Infrastructure investment is just that. It's an investment. It obviously opens up all kinds of new avenues for business to make money, and therefore more tax revenue.
We're already seeing significant inflation. We got the CPI numbers today, which showing that inflation is up. Gas prices are up, 23% in a year. Right. Food prices are up 3.6%. This is not...
3.6%? Food prices are up 3.6%? You mean prepared foods in restaurants because people are going back to work? I see.
Not starting out well for Joe Biden. He's the one that's going to get elected. There's 30...
Yeah, he's totally going to be... Yeah, totally. I'm excited about you. Your prospects are fantastic. I look forward to you running on all the stuff you voted against.
4 seats up, 20 Republicans, 14 Democrats. I think we have at least 4 pickup opportunities. We're going to clearly pick up
4.
The seat in Georgia against Warnock. He does not represent Georgia. We're going to...
Well, he does. And you're not.
We're going to beat Kelly in Arizona. We're going to beat Hass.
You're not going to beat Kelly in Arizona. You're not going to beat a fucking astronaut. You're just not. And the fact that you want to is kind of gross.
I'm up in New Hampshire, and we're going to beat Cortez.
Kelly's fucking awesome, by the way.
Masto out in Nevada. And I think there's going to be other states because this Biden agenda is so unpopular.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep telling yourself that. Captain Popularity.
Absolutely. What about Congress? Have you guys been working on, the House? Been working on the House at all as well? Do the numbers look a little better there as far as taking?
He's a senator. He's with the National Republican Senatorial Committee yeah. He'll say something.
Taking that back?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
We're 50-50 in the Senate, so we just have to get 1 to get a majority.
Right.
In the House, I think they have to get 3. I was just with Tom Emmer, who runs the National Republican Congressional Committee, and with Ronna McDaniel at the RN Republican National Committee event this weekend down.
The RN Republican, okay.
In Palm Beach, and we did an event. We were on a panel together, and we just talked about how we're working together. But then really what's helping us is the Biden administration, their agenda.
Really? That's what you're going to hammer? Is it the real thing that's helping you is the Biden administration? Dude, it's going to be fun to watch this, but this is just like tiring. You're not... Wasn't it the Democrats that were supposed to be like, all you guys do is run against Trump. You're not running because you have any ideas. You're just running because you orange man bad. Now I guess we're squinty man bad. Is that what's happening?
Agenda is so unpopular. It's going to get
about to lose your job. He is doing lovely, Amy. Thank you.
I think we're going to have a great 22. Now we got to fight in the meantime to stop all this bad spending, all these bills that don't make any sense.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to have a great 22 in the House and in the Senate, and then it's going to put us in position to win the presidency in 24.
Yeah, totally. Can't wait to see Trump run again. I'm sure he'll pick you as your VP.
Let's hope so. And let's try to get that infrastructure bill down under $1 trillion would be nice. One of the many reasons...
Why? You guys were for a $2 trillion infrastructure bill when Trump was in office.
Republicans need to get back in.
Why is it if there's a Democrat in office, it needs to be below $1 trillion?
Power, and there are quite a few, is the Iran nuclear deal. The Biden administration desperately trying to get back in this thing, which just defies all logic. Now Iran is dramatically ramping up uranium enrichment. That's the big news this week. Here's what.
Yeah, the deal would make them stop. Iran to enrich uranium at highest level. Again, all aboard the Hyperbole Express.
Jen Psaki had to say about Israel's alleged attack on Iran.
Sort of diplomatic front, was the U.S. giving any heads up about the attack from potentially Israel on the power facility for Natanz?
I have nothing further to read out about our understanding of the origin or the intention of the attack.
Was the U.S. at all in any way involved in the attack on the power facility in Natanz?
As I said yesterday, we were not.
So it almost seems to me like we weren't even aware this was going to happen.
Yeah. Because if we were, dude, she would totally say it. Because that's what you do. If you are working with Israel, the best thing you can do in the Middle East especially is to wave flags that you're intertwined and that you are aiding and abetting their attack on an Iran nuclear facility in the process. Because that really, it would really put Israel in good position for retaliatory strikes, which is really obviously the goal of, I guess, George Soros. I don't quite know who the villain is that would want Israel destroyed in this group. Probably the communists, Antifa. That's probably who it is, Antifa. They're so blind with pro-Palestinian rage that they just want us to get. I'm so confused.
And we understand, of course, Biden and Netanyahu don't get along nearly as well as Trump did.
No, that's true. I would consider that a good thing.
Israel's leader. What do you make of all this?
How is that corruption investigation against Netanyahu going?
Well, look, Iran's not a friend.
Nobody said they were.
The deal that Obama got into was a disaster for the United States and our close ally Israel.
Why? It slowed their enrichment and put in inspectors and all the things that we wanted.
It didn't stop the advancement of nuclear weapons by Iran. We gave them unbelievable amounts of money so they could.
We didn't give it to them. That it was their money. We released it. It's gone. They spent it. It's gone. We're not paying interest to Iran anymore.
More terror around the world. So my hope is that this doesn't.
Concerned Israel not talking to Biden. Is that a sentence? Is Israel concerned? Or is Rob Schmidt tonight concerned Israel is not talking to Biden?
Happen. We have got to stand with our ally, Israel. President Trump made a lot of effort to bring peace to the Middle East with the Abraham Accords.
Giving $50 billion to 3 countries that want to destroy Israel.
Let's focus on how we continue to build relationships for and with Israel. And let's make why would we be doing business with somebody that like Iran that yells death to America and death to Israel?
It defies all logic again, and they're so desperate to get back into another bad deal. It's just
you never heard the old keep your friends close and your enemies closer. You've never you realize we don't do peace deals with anybody we're friends with. It kind of goes against the whole. You realize that the essence of you don't have treaties to de-escalate nuclear and military tensions with countries that you're buddy with. We don't have a denuclearization treaty or a START treaty with France.
Just amazing. Another big concern with this administration, China and other dictators like Xi Jinping getting bolder in Donald Trump's absence. Taiwan reporting a record 25 Chinese warplanes entering its airspace. You tweeted today about China going after a freedom activist named Joshua Wong. You wrote, Communist China's attacks on democracy in Hong Kong are disgusting. Not 1 minute of this detention is warranted. Do you think that
So, did you say anything about Navalny? Rick, did you bring up Navalny? Where were you on July 4th, 2018?
Times are easier for Xi Jinping and other dictators of the world with Donald Trump gone?
Oh, absolutely. Joe Biden has appeased every dictator his entire career. There is no dictator in the world that he has ever stood up to. He's never stood up to Iran. He's never stood up to the Castro regime. He never stood up to Maduro in Venezuela. He's never stood up to Xi. Let's remember what Xi's doing right now.
Yeah, let's take a look at it. By the way, these are also the people that believe that China, that the Wuhan virus, as they call it, the CCP virus, the Kung Flu, all those things that they're saying about it, was an intentional bioweapon attack by China. And Trump sold them soybeans.
He has 1 million people in prison in communist China just for their religion. He's harvesting
Oh yeah, what is their religion, Rick?
organs involuntarily.
And hold on. This is great.
What Xi's doing right now. He has 1 million people
Right now. Let's see what Xi Jinping is doing right now.
in prison in communist China just for their religion. He's harvesting organs involuntarily. He's took away the basic rights of Hong Kong citizens, and he's threatening Taiwan.
Okay, so this is what he's doing right now. Hold on, okay? Let's try this. Let's see. Try here. Trump, Xi Jinping. I mean, obviously, he didn't, start that. Let me say, how do you even, let's see. Well, I'm sorry, what about Xi Jinping? Sorry? What, Biden, I'm sorry, Biden, there was something about, I have to look it up. It's very strange. Hold on, I've got to open up my screen. Get out of here. Move out of the way. U.S. presidents say relationships with China are at an all-time high. This is, this is probably in 2017 when he was brand new in office and didn't, oh shit, January 21st, 2020, in Davos. Donald Trump said the relationship between China and the U.S. has probably never been better during a speech at the annual World Economic Forum in Davos Tuesday. During his address, the U.S. president gave the gathering of elite policymakers and business people a laundry list of economic achievements, including what he described as confronting China's predatory practices in trade with America. Trump said that these had become worse and worse and worse under his predecessors. Under my leadership, America confronted the problem head on. Our relationship with China has now probably never, ever been better. Let's see. Trump said, adding, he gets on well with President Xi Jinping. He's for China, I'm for the U.S., but other than that, we love each other. In review of the domestic policy, the president claimed the U.S. has experienced an economic turnaround as nothing short of spectacular. Today, I'm proud to declare the United States is in the midst of an economic boom, the likes of which the world has never seen before. By the way, that wasn't even remotely true. We were headed into a recession, and it actually started in February of last year. The American dream is back, bigger, better, and stronger than ever before. Standard hyperbole. But I'm sorry. Obviously, things have changed, but
And if you look at the Biden administration, they want to be friends with everybody. No.
I'm sorry. They what? They want to be friends with everybody? They want to be friends with. Holy shit!
I mean, this is.
Wait a second. This is. Hold on, I'm clicking around all over the place. Trump. So he wants to be.
Talk about North Korea.
Oh, hold on. He wants to be friends with everybody. Biden wants to be friends with everybody.
Now, President Trump, you've met with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un 3 times. You've talked about your beautiful letters with him. You've touted the fact that there hasn't been a war or a long-range missile test. And yet North Korea recently rolled out its biggest ever intercontinental ballistic missile and continues to develop its nuclear arsenal. Do you see that as a betrayal of the relationship you forged? Just 30 seconds here because we need to get on to the next.
So when I met with Barack Obama, we sat in the White House right at the beginning, had a great conversation. It was supposed to be 15 minutes, and it was well over an hour. He said the biggest problem we have with North Korea. He indicated we will be in a war with North Korea. Guess what? It would be a nuclear war, and he does have plenty of nuclear capability. In the meantime, I have a very good relationship with him. different kind of a guy, but he probably thinks the same thing about me. We have a different kind of a relationship. We have a very good relationship, and there's no war. And, you know, about 2 months ago, he broke into a certain area. They said, oh, there's going to be trouble. I said, no, they're not, because he's not going to do that. And I was right. Look, instead of being in a war where millions of people, Seoul, you know, is 25 miles away, millions and millions, 32 million people in Seoul, millions of people would be dead right now.
President
we
Trump,
don't have
that's
a war,
30
and
seconds.
I have a good
Thank
relationship.
you. Vice President Biden, to you. North Korea conducted 4 nuclear tests under the Obama administration. Why do you think you would be able to rein in this persistent threat?
Because I'd make it clear, which we were making clear to China, they had to be part of the deal. Because here's I made it clear, and as a spokesperson of the administration when I went to China, that they said, why are you moving your missile defense up so close? Why are you moving more forces here? Why are you continuing to do military maneuvers with South Korea? I said, because North Korea is a problem, and we're going to continue to do it so we can control them. We're going to make sure we can control them and make sure they cannot hurt us. And so if you want to do something about it, step up and help. If not, it's going to continue. What has he done? He's legitimized North Korea. He's talked about his good buddy, who's a thug, and he talks about how we're better off. And they have much more capable missiles, able to reach U.S. territory much more easily than ever did before.
Let me follow up with you.
So there you go. So I'm sorry. What was that again, Rick Scott? That what?
Vice President Biden.
Sorry. Whoops. I gotta play this video.
Look at the Biden administration. Oh, they want to be friends with everybody.
Uh-huh. Jesus.
No, I mean, how can you be a friend with somebody that's building a military that wants to dominate the world?
How can you what? I'm sorry. Who do what? How can you be friends with somebody that wants to? I'm gonna run out of. Trump, Putin, friends. Like, how do you? Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. There should be a video on this one. Well, it's just here. We'll grab this, whatever. The description of it. The many different ways Trump has described Putin and Russian election interference. Do you think Putin will be going to the Miss Universe pageant in November in Moscow? If so, will he become my new best friend? Donald Trump, 2013. Trump sent a letter to Putin inviting him to the Miss Universe pageant, 2013. Yeah, okay. I spoke indirectly and directly with Putin, who couldn't have been nicer. I will get along with Putin. Trump, okay, he's a very flamboyant man, very talented, no doubt about that. He's not. That's Putin talking about him. Trump defended himself against those calling for pushback. What he calls me a genius, and I'm going to disavow it. Are you crazy? I'm not going to disavow it. I only said he is a bright person. Isn't he bright? He is. I didn't say anything else about him. Putin said about Trump. I don't know who Putin is. Trump said. He said one nice thing about me. I've never met Putin. Well, I think he calls me brilliant. All right, this goes on and on. 2017. Yeah. He said he didn't meddle. I asked him again. You can only ask so many times. That whole, I can't imagine why they wouldn't. There we go. This whole business.
For each president, President Trump, you first. Just now, President Putin denied having anything to do with the election interference in 2016. Every U.S. intelligence agency has concluded that Russia did. My first question for you, sir, is who do you believe? My second question is, would you now, with the whole world watching, tell President Putin, would you denounce what happened in 2016, and would you warn him to never do it again?
So let me just say that we have two thoughts. You have groups that are wondering why the FBI never took the server. Why haven't they taken the server? Why was the FBI told to leave the office of the Democratic National Committee? I've been wondering that. I've been asking that for months and months, and I've been tweeting.
By the way, that was a test market for the later on, if I say something that sounds technical but it's actually bullshit, a big portion of my Q-like followers will go, oh, there's probably something in there. He probably knows what's up.
Tweeting it out and calling it out on social media. Where is the server? I want to know, where is the server and what is the server saying?
I think the server is saying, would you like to see our dessert menu, or is it just a check?
That being said, all I can do is ask the question. My people came to me, Dan Coates came to me, and some others. They said they think it's Russia. I have President Putin. He just said it's not Russia. I will say this. I don't see any reason why it would be, but I really do want to see the server. But I have confidence in both parties. I really believe that this will probably go on for a while, but I don't think it can go on without finding out what happened to the server. What happened to the servers of the Pakistani gentleman that worked on the DNC? Where are those servers? They're missing. Where are they? What happened to Hillary Clinton's emails? 33,000 emails gone, just gone. I think in Russia they wouldn't be gone so easily. I think it's a
no. The actual politicians would just be dead.
Disgrace that we can't get Hillary Clinton's 33,000 emails. So
that was, by the way, that was his answer to, would you tell Putin to leave our elections alone?
Then never anything that comes out of Xi's mouth is a complete lie.
Yeah.
Anything that comes out of Xi's mouth is a complete lie. And anybody who believes that stuff would obviously be a sucker. Let's see. Trump, Xi, transparency. Let's see. Videos. This is video. Let's see if this. There we go.
Because I'm on
There'll be
insulin.
an ad on here for a second. I guess because I've got some yellow issues that I shouldn't be wearing yellow. But now I'm taking yellow. If I sniff a certain amount of yellow, everything turns yellow. Yes, essence of banana, vitamin C, and demoxyphilosophicycline. If you take yellow, be careful that you might, if you run into the Green Lantern, he might be the only person that can defeat you. Yellow is a color of evil. Don't forget to paint your roof yellow. This is according to China's health ministry. Here we go. 26 people have now died from coronavirus. All right, let's see. Get to the point where Trump says something. Really? Is it just going to be one of these things? I hate these kind of videos. Ugh, suckered again, you bastards. Let's see. Go on YouTube. I'll find it. You watch, I'll find it. Bloody hell.
Do you trust that we're going to know everything we need to know from China?
I do. I have a great relationship with President Xi. We're working very closely with China and other countries, and we think it's going to have a very good ending for us. We're working with China, just so you know, and other countries very, very closely, so it doesn't get out of hand. We are coordinating with the Chinese government and working closely together.
Are you concerned that China is covering up the full extent of coronavirus?
No, China's working very hard. We're working with them. You know, we just sent some of our best people over the World Health Organization.
Do you see the data China has been sharing with the United States has been helpful?
I think it has been helpful. We've been working very much with China. I wish they could have told us earlier about what was going on inside. We didn't know about it until it started coming out publicly. China was very secretive, okay? Very, very secretive. And that's unfortunate. But I'm a little upset with China, I'll be honest with you. They should have told us about this. And I did ask them whether or not we could send some people in. They didn't want that, WHO. But the fact is that I have heard for years that is very much biased toward China.
They said that some of our soldiers caused the problem. We're saying, what soldiers? What are you talking about?
Russia, Iran, and China are going through a sophisticated disinformation campaign, essentially blaming us.
Every country does it, but they build it up into some. We handle that, and they probably handle it, but countries do that.
As to whether or not their numbers are accurate.
Okay. And these are all clips of him, being okay with Xi Jinping until he's not, until it's obviously too late, which is, leadership. But I don't even know what the shit that last sentence was. Handled what?
I'm not an accountant from China.
You're criticizing the WHO for praising China for being transparent, but you also praise China for being transparent.
I don't talk about China's transparency.
Do you believe that the Chinese Communist Party misled the world about the coronavirus?
All right, this is again, everything he says is a lie.
It is something else to see how they're handling this man and how so many on the left just look the other way at some of the atrocities that China commits. Is just
we're the ones who are ignoring it. Christ
amazing,
almighty.
Even in the business community in this country.
Even in the big lefties in the business community.
Finally, sir, on a much lighter note,
let's turn it around. Come on.
Presented President Trump with the NRSC's inaugural champion for.
Oh my God! I didn't have to look up the goddamn bowl.
Freedom Award. Here's a photo here for, among other things, enforcing the southern border, which is another one of Biden's big disasters.
Why'd you give him a bowl then? Doesn't that seem a little receptive?
The award, though, has actually been mocked by Democrats, including, of all people, Eric Swalwell, who tweeted out, "So Rick Scott gave a toddler a toy, big deal." But let's focus on what Scott and his Senate GOP cronies are trying to steal from us now: our votes, our safety, our future. Of course,
clutch the pearls.
Swalwell doesn't have much reputation anymore. He's still got something to say, though. They've been poking fun at the size of the award. We can pull this up again. We saw that you responded to this. What is your response to this whole thing? It's kind of funny.
It's totally funny.
Well, you know what we're going to do is we're going to recognize leaders, conservative leaders, all
recognize
over the United States. President Trump's the first one for things that they do are good for Americans. Think about what President Trump got done.
I look forward to getting it.
3 great justices on the Supreme Court. He cut taxes for the middle class.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Most of his tax benefits were for upper 3%. And they were temporary for individuals. They were permanent for corporations.
Cut regulation to help us create jobs. We had the best economy before COVID that we've ever had, probably.
No, not probably. Not really.
In this country, at least in my
not at all
lifetime.
Yeah. In your lifetime, how you can't be younger than me.
He stood up to Xi in communist China.
Yeah, he totally stood up to him or whatever, but only because Xi was on a pedestal this big and it was better peeing distance.
Stood up to the Castro regime. Stood up in Venezuela.
The Castro regime.
Stood up to the Ayatollah in Iran.
How do you feel about Bolsonaro?
This is pretty impressive, the record that President Trump has for freedom for American citizens. And so
Did you have one? Why didn't you give one to Obama? He deported more people than the last 10 presidents put together.
I'm proud of giving it to him, and I look forward to giving it to other conservative leaders that have a track record of helping other people.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. So if a liberal helps other people, they don't get the award. It's just for conservatives. I see. So it's based on a sliding scale of morality.
I get it. I thought it was.
I get it. You're not going to get it. You're actually not. So over this. Oh, by the way, I looked this up before. Yeah, we're okay on time. I went in, because, Biden made a statement about we're going to have the troops out of Afghanistan by September 11th, the 20th anniversary of us entering the war in Afghanistan. And, basically they present this yesterday officially, and then he comes out and does a speech about it, which I showed you part of earlier. And I just want to show you what the articles were just a couple of weeks ago about Afghanistan. A month ago, New York Times, U.S. has 1,000 more troops in Afghanistan than it disclosed. So now that Biden's in, we have a legitimate counting of how many troops we have. Not U.S. has 1,000 more troops than Afghanistan than it disclosed. Biden administration is being truthful. The Trump administration was lying because part of his whole thing is I'm bringing them home. They weren't bringing them home. They were lying about bringing them home. He took a bunch of soldiers from Afghanistan and sent them to Saudi Arabia to guard their gas processing facilities. The Washington Post, why staying in Afghanistan is the least bad choice for Biden. U.S. troops out of Afghanistan by next year, says Biden, but tough to do by May 1st deadline. They were able to set the deadline for September 11th, but by then, so my guess is they're going to get it done earlier. That means they probably have like last week of August, they're going to have everybody out and they'll be able to announce that nobody's there on September 11th. Biden seems ready to extend U.S. troop presence. This is AP. Biden seems ready to extend U.S. troop presence in Afghanistan. This is a week ago. Seems ready. I'm curious what this, considering what we know now about what they were actually preparing, this is fascinating. Robert Burns, April 8th. Without coming right out and saying it, President Joe Biden seems ready to lapse a May 1st deadline for completing a withdrawal of U.S. troops from Afghanistan. Orderly withdrawals take time, and Biden is running out of it. Biden has inched so close to the deadline that his indecision amounts almost to a decision to put off. His indecision amounts almost to a decision to put off. This was not his deadline. May 1st was a deadline put forward by the Trump administration, and they made no moves to do anything about it before they left. So until he took over, they had no authority or ability to start the drawdown or even start coordinating the drawdown with our foreign partners or with the military itself. This May 1st deadline was supposed to be started last August, but Trump just blew it off. But it's Biden's indecision about it, not the reality of somebody else's deadline. At least for a number of months, a pull out of the remaining 2,500 troops and continue supporting the Afghan military the risk of a Taliban backlash. Removing all the troops and their equipment in the next 3 weeks, along with coalition partners that cannot get out on their own, would be difficult logistically, as Biden himself suggested in late March. It's going to be hard to meet the May 1st deadline just in terms of tactical reasons. It's hard to get those troops out. Tellingly, he added, and if we leave, we're going to do it safe in a safe and orderly way. Tellingly, he added. Sometimes not making a decision becomes a decision, which seems the case with the May 1st deadlines. Stavridis said in an email exchange Wednesday, the most prudent course of action feels like a 6-month extension and an attempt to get the Taliban truly meeting their promises, essentially permitting the legitimate conditions-based withdrawal in the fall. They're already doing shorter than that. Honest to God. It's so abundantly clear that the baggage of the Trump administration weighs so heavy on all this stuff,